That guy's great.
Isn't he?
Started off bad, gave a couple home runs the first inning, but he's tightened up and
He's a good pitcher.
he struck out like 12 in the next
Yeah.
6 innings.
He's tough.
Yeah.
He can kind of dial it down when he has to. You know what I mean? It all comes down to can they pitch? You know what I mean? They can throw 100 miles an hour. You know something? That doesn't mean anything. If
Throw it down the middle.
you throw it down the middle.
Not a good time to have it this
Right.
year.
I
Jeff was
wish-
very ill
I wish we'd get
and
away
very
from
made
those,
about
the
making
power
about
throws and get more to the
25
pitchers, the
to
finesse
be
pitchers
here.
that can hit spots.
Right.
You know?
Good timing.
Yeah.
I love watching
Were you
those
down
guys.
Ponce
Yeah.
This year.
No, I didn't.
Chriswell had a nice game against Houston. They pulled him up out of the blue. And he pitched a great game. He pitched 7 innings and gave up like 3 hits.
7:00.
Okay, sorry, we're talking baseball.
What happened?
No more baseball.
Put it on the back burner for now.
All right.
Okay, well, we have a quorum right here.
Let's go.
Peter, I believe, is coming back. And I expected Seth to be here. He's didn't say he couldn't be. So,
If I'm gonna serve, you have to appoint me.
pardon me.
You have to appoint me.
Right. Yes, we will do that. Want to call the meeting to order. 7:00 and here comes Jean. And we'll need to do a roll call vote because Jean is online.
All right.
We'll start with you, Jean.
Jean Belgrosky, Hinshaw.
Jay Wellens.
And we will be appointing Susan Brown to be a voting member of the commission tonight because there is an absentee to their place.
Peter Hurst.
Shirley Green,
Tom Claus?
Whitney Banker, Taker.
and I would like to introduce Maddie Belsa, but the education coordinator at the Enfield Shaker Museum. She's here with us tonight to talk about some things that she'd like to
Nice.
partner and collaborate with us.
Hello, everybody. Am I muted? Or am I okay?
Nope, we can hear you, Maddie. Can you hear
You're
us?
welcome. Yeah, I didn't hear anybody responding, so I wasn't sure if it was just
Did you
whatever.
hear me introduce you?
What?
Did you hear that I introduced you?
Yeah. I said, hi, everybody. Okay. But I wasn't sure if I'm the first on the docket or if you have other things that you have to do.
You are. We put guest first on the docket and then you don't have to sit through the meeting if you don't want to.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Thank you. So I had previously sent Shirley a kind of outline of some ideas that I had come up with. And I don't know if you have them in front of you right now. So I'll go over a few that I thought of. If this seems too big for the commission or you would like to start with something smaller, please let me know. I just kind of threw a couple different varying levels of ideas together. So one I started with, the commission offers a steward to lead a talk about conservation efforts, the mission and current plans. Potentially could just be a 1-hour free event at our performance center or in the Great Stone Dwelling, using our facilities to showcase your commission and thinking about your next steps and how you can get the community more involved. The next one I had was the Harvest Festival is something that we offer every year, and I'm sure that Shirley Green has mentioned it because she's always a big help and focus for our event. But we offer tabling, so your commission could have a few people or just one person with information for the event. It's September 27th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. But I also understand time constraints. If you're only able to be there for part of the day, it can just be as a case-by-case basis. We would encourage you to be there all day, but it's not a necessity. I'm going to go through my ideas, and then if you have questions or comments or clarifications, I'll give that at the end, just so I can do my 3.
Addie,
Also,
I just wanted to point, excuse me, but I just wanted to point out the list that she gave me is in your current minutes packet. If you want to follow. Okay, thank you.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks, Shirley. That really helps. And also to note for the Harvest Festival table, there's no fee to host your table for information. It's purely an educational event. Another idea I had is that we've been the museum has been partnering with New Hampshire Audubon, and they have senior biologist talks as well as other 1 hour programs. I know that Shirley recruited the Raptors Rapture program for the Enfield Old Home Days. So it could be that we, as two organizations, partner to host one of their talks. Something that is paid, but definitely an option. And at the bare minimum, I would be happy to put information, either your rack cards or website information on our website, our social media, and showcase your mission and how beneficial this commission is to the community of Enfield and Greater Upper Valley. So those are my top 3 things that I was going to work on. But the list has a few more. If you're interested or see something that more catches your eye, do you have any questions, comments, things that you think fits best for your commission?
I think that being partnering and having and being able to provide information about us at the Performance Center is great. And the partner on
Agreed.
bringing people like the organizations like the New Hampshire Audubon, and there are many others we could do, that would be
Yeah.
great too. Because it's one
Yeah.
great thing, the museum is also very interested, always has been, Shakers are in sustainability, so we really do connect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you mentioned the last one as an idea was a Raptor talk, correct?
That was something that Shirley had just programmed for the Enfield Old Home Days. It wasn't necessarily a museum connection, but it was hosted at our facility. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to as an adjunct to that, to add additional to it, I think it'd be a great place where we can talk about the rodenticides,
Yes,
which are detrimental to the raptors. So people that are obviously interested in raptors are gonna see the presentation and then kind of follow up with a little bit of people like, by the way, if you like raptors, don't use poison.
and it's it's the New Hampshire Audubon and the other New England Audubons that are very involved in protecting their
Yeah,
raptors.
yeah, so I
So
think
it's
that,
really great to connect all of them.
Last year there was Vins. Vins will
Yes.
bring more birds.
Pardon me?
Vins will bring more birds.
It's not, we had VINs. I got
Yeah,
VINs
we
last
had
year.
Vins and they're
And
good.
I was the one who organized that. And I actually did call them first this year, but they were already booked Friday.
Yeah, so maybe we should
And
look up.
we had a wonderful
Yeah.
response for the Raptors. There were 40 people there,
Yeah,
and the adults and the children were just so interested in what she did.
I got an idea. I'd be interested in leading a walk up the Smith Pond Trail. And coordinate it with someone from the museum that could talk about the canals that it follows. So you could add some history to some nature and walk up there. I'd prefer to do it in the spring when the water's a little higher, so we can
Yeah.
enjoy the falls. So I'd be willing to lead that and coordinate it with someone from the museum.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm usually the one to do the educational programs as well as be the supervisor. I am collaborating with the Upper Valley Land Trust to do a similar hike this fall
Oh,
and then
really?
a follow-up
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to do a secondary one in the spring with the Conservation
Yeah.
Commission, or you could join our walk in the fall as well. I know that Cassie, the Upper Valley Land Trust representative, would be happy to have you.
I'd love to do that too, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a free
because they're a great
event.
organization. I'd like to learn more about them. But I
Yeah,
like the idea of
absolutely.
spring too, when the water's a little higher too, because it would be very visually nice for people to get up
Yes.
there when the water's high.
Absolutely.
Both, yeah. So keep us posted on when you're doing it with the Upper Valley Land Trust. Cause we have a
Yeah,
good connection with them too.
I believe that is happening in October. Let me go back and see if I can find that. Um, I'd have to double check my other calendar, but I believe it's happening in October is what we decided.
Sure,
So-
just if you can let Shirley know and she'll
Yeah.
pass it on. Thank you. I'd definitely love to join that.
Yes,
Could I add something?
you sure can. Go ahead.
Later in this meeting, I will be making a presentation and a proposal to this commission on the subject, broad subject of soil fertility, soil conservation and sustainability in that regard. My specific focus is on biochar, which I think if we in the West had discovered it 150 years ago, would have been something that captured the Shaker imagination as well, because it's an extension of a very conventional technology, which is making charcoal. My proposal includes up to 6 separate sessions, and I think it would be wonderful to have one of them hosted by a venue other than, you know, what's available to us in the town office, and of interest to the gardeners associated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that would be a great opportunity. I'd be happy to schedule something with you if we're in collaboration for it. Is your commission one that kind of offers only free events, or are you also open to hosting ticketed events?
We generally offer free events.
Okay, just wanted to check that we were on the same page. I'm happy to offer the facilities for the free event. I don't think that there's a time constraint on that. When you have more dates or your proposal goes through, please follow up with me and I'd love to schedule one of those sessions at the museum.
Great.
That'd be wonderful.
It's exciting. Yeah, there's so many ways that we have connections to partner.
And Maddie, also, you mentioned already on your list was just having an awareness meeting at the event center too. I think we'd be more than willing to do that.
Yes.
We've
Yeah.
done it. You know, we were there just a week or two ago for the Old Home Days on site. So we'd be happy
Yep.
to do something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something, that's a no-brainer. You want to schedule it and coordinate it, yeah, we can do that anytime.
Perfect. The awareness thing, the awareness meeting, I think, or session would be great. But I also mentioned the Harvest Festival. Does anybody have availability? I know that most likely Shirley will be working the event if she's available. But is anybody else available to do some tabling information during that event?
What's the time frame?
September 27th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And as I mentioned, it doesn't necessarily have to be the entire day. It could be that you just have a pop-up table from the start to the middle or the middle to the end. It's up to you and what your availability is. Or you can have the table set up all day.
A lot of people you could see.
Yeah, it was very nice. I went to it, yeah.
The broom shop will be open, we'll be making brooms.
And it'd be like, similar to what you did at the Old Home Days.
Right.
You did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I can't say I can do it now. I possibly could, but I have to check my calendar, okay?
Right
That's a
now, it's like
possibility.
You're free? Great.
I'm possibly free.
Well, if
Put
there's
me on
no
your list,
other
I
way
can
to
probably
do it,
take it.
Shirley, you can
Right.
put a table in the broom shop,
Okay.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
we'll
we
be
can
there.
have shift too.
Yeah, I think we can get enough people. I think I'm pretty good for that. The weekend yeah, I gotta check, so I'm heading out overseas in September, but I think I'll be back then.
Well, as I mentioned, it doesn't have to be one person the entire day. If you wanted to do it in shifts, and then you can participate in other events that day, or you have other obligations, totally fine. I will send a registration form just to detail what your information booth will look like. As I mentioned, no fee, but just to make sure that I have record of what you'd be offering and making sure I account for your table and potentially tent in our map of the event.
Sure. Sounds good.
Cool.
There's a couple of commission members who aren't here that are very likely.
We'd probably be interested, absolutely. I think we can get enough people, Shirley. That should be a no-brainer.
Because it's a great.
Yeah.
We've been getting a big attendance for
Yep.
the
Yeah.
whole family. It's a family event.
Yeah, I know. I've been there. It's a nice event. It's very nice. event.
Last year we had over 800 visitors, so I can tell you it's a good community.
Those
And
are
we
the
also
payers.
had,
Oh, how many didn't pay?
I can't tell you about that. I didn't track bracelets as closely as I probably should have. But it was a lot of people that were coming from out of town too. It was a bigger audience than we're used to, just because I was able to get it on WMUR and some of the bigger statewide marketing options, which was really lucky of me. I'm hoping to be able to do so again, and then we'll get even bigger community effort and attendance. So in trying to be mindful of your time, is there anything, obviously the Harvest Festival table that we'll follow up on, and the awareness meeting that I can schedule, but is there anything in particular that you want me to really focus on for following up, or just generally send dates to Shirley and see how we can schedule for the next season or year?
What do you think? Any comments?
I think that two other you mentioned, the one Jay talked about, the Smith Pond hike and the Raptor talk. I think all four of
Okay.
those,
They're all good.
I think they're all good. And I think we can all, between this group, I think we can have represented for each of those events.
And I love this thing at the bottom too. I know we haven't moved on yet, but okay, what's going on your list?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Vernal Pools talk is good, isn't it? That's a good talk.
Yeah,
Where is it from? It's on the.
it's in the minutes.
Yeah. At the bottom, one of my other kind of bigger ideas was to partner on hosting a vernal pools talk. There's a UNH extension employee, Haley Andrazi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name right, that does vernal pools talks and travels all over the state for them. So I had seen that as an opportunity and kind of threw it as the big ticket item of my ideas.
Great idea. Doesn't that sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's exciting.
We could possibly get Alan to come in and join us for that.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves talking about vernal pools.
And
I also, that was just a suggestion. If Alan is more, is an expert himself and would like to do the talk, then that is perfectly acceptable too. This was just a jumping off point that I was bringing to the commission.
Okay. He was one of us.
yeah, of course, they'll send someone from the UNH would be great too.
Absolutely.
We've done a lot of things, our Lake Association done a lot of things with UNH, and they're a great group of people. And we also, what's the name of the program that we participate in every year that does webinars? It's from UNH. Oh, won't come to me. Every spring. Can you remember, Jay?
The extension there, something for wildlife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Title won't come to me, but it's they have a lot of good programs and
Speaking for wildlife, I can't remember, something like that. I've done a couple of presentations on that.
yeah,
Yeah, anything from the UNH extension is good.
right.
Okay. So I guess my action steps are to send Shirley some dates for the potential talks and things that we had, and then also wait for your proposal about the soil conservation, fertility, sustainability to come through, so then I can plan around when your sessions are. I'm happy to be the middle session, beginning session, whatever you need.
What will
It'd be
you,
cool if you could-
you wait for, what? I didn't get that last. Oh, yes, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
So
Yeah.
is it best to send information directly to Shirley and then it'll
Yeah.
get to the rest of the group? Okay.
Yep.
Yes,
Maddie, you have to do it that way
it's because it's a public, where,
because we're a public commission and if there are more than three of us together, it's a public meeting. So you don't want to email us, email Shirley.
Okay, that's
in
why I
any
was
case-
clarifying.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, those were my things to talk about and bring to your attention. If you have no other things to discuss about my ideas or specifics or things else that you wanted to talk about, I think that's it for me.
thank you.
Thank you, Maddie.
Another thing,
Yeah.
it's a connection too, is we're also talking about partnering with gardeners. And so that's another connection that we could partner with the museum on too, is their garden and pollinators and so forth, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
because the
you,
possibilities are great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good potential. Yeah.
Susan Susan Quinlan is our garden coordinator for the museum. And she has been kind of doing some traveling and been out of town for a while. But I will definitely mention it to her since I came to this meeting and talk about some of the ideas, see if she's interested in working with us on this. And then we have 2 beehives that are on the property. So we have the connection with Shane Howard, who's a beekeeper. I don't know if you have the connection with Shane Howard so that you can have that pollinator connection, but I'm happy to send over his contact information if that is also an interest.
Great.
Great.
Well, yeah, tell Susan, we don't have to arrange something right away, but it's something that would be great to do together.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we're talking about these programs over probably the course of a year, I definitely think towards, the winter, spring season part, she has been really interested in some various programs. So once we flush out those ideas, I can come back to the meeting and present.
Right.
Cool.
Anyone have any other questions or comments?
No, I'm all set.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming. It was very exciting. to Think about all
Yeah.
this.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
doing a great job, Maddie. We're lucky to have you.
Yeah, I keep telling her that too. She's a treasure.
Thank you. I just think we have all these wonderful people working on great missions, and we have enough connections between us that we should pool our resources.
Yes. Make
Well,
everything even better.
There's another reason too, because back in the day, not that long ago, the town and the museum were at odds. And to get the town back to supporting the museum is one of our goals.
Yeah, it'd be
Oh.
really cool. I mean, I've
We s-
definitely felt a lot more positive energy coming from the town because, we've been trying to foster that friendship and connection, but
I think it's
It's always-
coming along well, and
Yeah, I think
you're a
it's
big-
making progress, a lot of progress. But we have to keep in mind that was there.
well, yep, that's in the past. We're looking in the
You're
future,
right.
Yes.
and the future's looking bright.
That's right.
Yep. I've noticed a lot of great change in the year that I've been here. So thank you for having me at your meeting, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Sounds
thanks
great.
for
Thanks,
coming.
Maddie.
See you soon, Maddie. When the air
See you
clears
soon.
up in the room.
Yeah, of course. Take your time. It's gross. Alrighty. Have a good night, everybody.
Yep, bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Museum's lucky you've gotten her.
Sure am.
Give her a raise.
Okay. So everyone feels really comfortable moving forward with all.
Yep.
the
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yep.
So next we have on our list, updates. And, the first one on the list is, Tom, has information on the Climate Fix Road sign.
I can, do we wanna do the real quick with Jay on the gaining conservation?
Oh,
status.
that,
Yeah, I can report on that.
you wanna report on it?
Yeah, basically, we've been playing tag, trying to get, them to come to our meeting and, summer's been busy. So they invited us to come to their meeting next Tuesday at, the 12th. So I'm gonna represent us at that meeting. Because I'm the person that's been really doing the education outreach, so I wanna get a feel for what they've done. And then and then we can talk about how we can coordinate our efforts together, okay?
Yeah.
So I'll go to
That's
that
great.
meeting and I'll report back in September, okay?
Mhm.
And
That'd be
that
great.
he says next Tuesday.
It's next Tuesday.
Where do they?
I'll have to find out. It was at the Mascoma Clinic, I mean, the
Yeah,
clinic.
the last one I went to, they had there, but we can ask.
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah. I can, are you gonna initiate that communication that I'm coming? Okay,
I'll do it right away.
okay, and then just find out where it is and then just
You can
copy
just
me.
send it to everyone.
Mhm.
I might, if I'm free,
Yeah,
I might go.
Sure.
It'd be interesting to
yeah,
see.
yeah. The more the merrier.
You know,
I mean, if there's three of us, we'll have to post a meeting, but,
Yes.
so right now it's me,
Well,
but if
we'll
it's,
make sure it's not three. So if I'm the third, I won't go, but if I'm the second, I'll go.
okay.
Again, I don't know what my schedule is right now.
Well, if there's gonna be three, then we'll just,
Yeah, I know.
we'll have to post it, okay, so,
Yeah.
but we got time. Well, it's next week, so we'll have to do it
Right.
quick.
Good.
Maybe we should just have it, Tom and I go, I mean, if he's available.
Yeah, I think that's probably a wise thing.
Right.
To do.
Yeah, Tom, if you're available, join me. If not, no worries, okay?
Yeah, sounds good. I can check real quick.
That way, keep it simple.
Yes.
Cause we can report back. I mean, it's not a big deal.
That's, you're the contact.
Yeah, keep it simple.
We would all, be very interesting.
Yeah.
And it will be nice, hopefully this will, we'll get together for more meetings,
Yeah.
because we have before, and it's
Yeah.
nice to, especially where we're in the same, school district to.
Yep.
Do other things together too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so now the update from, actually, I'm just communicating the information from Ed. Ed did all the hard work. He just passed along the information to me. So this has to do with the class 6 road signs.
Yep.
That we've been discussing, last several meetings. So he did what he was supposed to do. He went out, he got some quotes. I'm gonna pass this around. This is an example of a sign. The wording is not what he asked them to do, but it gives you an idea of
Yeah,
this is the thicker of the two signs.
so they put their own wording on it?
No, they didn't put their own wording on. They didn't, Ed, I
'Cause
think he
I
showed
don't
them,
think we said we could, some of this no-wheeled vehicles between a certain date, but anyways, let's,
right, that's what I wanted to mention. So
right.
he showed them, I think, a sign. And they just duplicated it rather than doing what he said to do, the sign that we had talked about.
Okay,
So we're just looking at this in terms of the type of
Yeah, but just like the lettering,
yeah,
You know,
the
sign.
material of the
The
sign
size,
itself. Yeah,
material.
yeah.
Yeah,
and he's got, two quotes. That's a 12 by 18 sign, single-sided aluminum. And it can either be in the thickness that I showed you there, which is 80 thousandths, or it could be, which is $42 each, which I believe is considerably, I think it's considerably less than
mhm.
the other quote. I think those were almost $75 a piece.
Mhm.
And there's a thinner 40 thousandths aluminum, it's $36 each. They recommend the heavier duty one. And then what else did he mention on this?
Could I ask a question about the specs? Is this to spec? Did we fend around specifications? Or are they just taking their best guess at what we might want?
For wording?
They were.
For actually formatting, I was thinking of rounded corners
Mhm.
and a black border.
Okay,
Makes it look more like
Mhm.
other similar road signs. that,
Yeah.
We
so
saw
the first one's, I understand the rounded corners.
rounded corners and the black border. It's actually a black and white border. The black is offset in about,
Yeah, I took a picture of one down in Springfield.
I thought that
Oh,
the,
I see what you mean. It's similar to the one here. He has a picture of that type of black.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
like
Yep,
that.
and that has the
That-
corners, and it has the corners also.
Yeah,
it's much
Okay.
better looking.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
I
Rounded
thought
corners and,
that
black.
The state provided those signs and they're red.
Haven't seen.
Class 6 road signs are red, and in my head.
Can you put the prices for the
That
two
they-
things?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
All the
So
ones
the
I've
80,000,
seen are like the one in that
black
it's
and
on
white.
12 by 18. I don't know if you
Yep.
caught that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I got
agree.
it.
The ones I haven't seen the
It's-
red ones.
They're aluminum
Yep.
they're
and
smaller,
Yeah,
80,000
ones we've
was the
looked at
thicker
when we
one.
did that tour, were all
it's
like
$42
that.
each.
really,
Yeah,
Like
Or
the.
40,000 thick
about a foot.
is $36.
Oh, we should read
Yeah.
more.
Yep.
We mentioned that too.
there's a really old one that we looked at, there's a bunch of them around, some of them were really old, they're all like that.
Oh,
The-
whatever, I'm just asking.
Yeah,
I got-
I have never, yeah, I don't think any of us are familiar with those that you mentioned.
Well, if they're a
Yeah,
Minnesota red,
I think what he did is he,
Yeah, you're
Sent
right, you're
them
right, yeah,
at-
that's an old one too, yeah.
a informal
Yeah.
RFQ.
but the
Don't-
state doesn't
don't we
provide it?
Need something a little more.
Not that I know of.
Oh,
The specs
We will.
where everybody is
If we
bidding on the
just-
same job.
I wouldn't think they would.
I thought the state
Or is this
provided
just like
those signs.
background
Pardon me?
parking?
I thought the state provided those signs,
They probably, maybe they do in some cases.
but maybe they did in the past and they
Yeah.
don't anymore.
There is question, I need to read you.
I think class 6 roads are town responsible,
I
not
need
state
to-
responsible. So state, I would doubt would provide.
Yeah, I think
I
you're
need
right.
to write-
There might be a few state class 6 roads. But I don't think.
I need to read you,
Okay,
opinion,
never
I
mind.
got this opinion from Ed Morris, our town manager.
Yep.
And I had sent him, he'd asked me for attachments from the New Hampshire Conservation Handbook, which I've given
Yeah,
to
you-
all of you. It appears that most CCs that get involved with class 6 roads do so when a select board determines to turn class 6 roads into trails, which makes sense to me. Our class 6 roads are not trails and are open to motorized vehicle traffic and are still part of the town's highway and road system. This is where I feel the CC should not take a lot of time on these roads and should focus their discussion on whether or not they would like to recommend that one or more of these roads become a trail. If they are going to stay roads, there is little that falls within the work that the CC should be working on. As stated before, the CC Commission should ask what as stated before, the CC Commission should ask what the conservation purpose for the discussion or project is. Example, what conservation purpose is served by placing signs on class 6 roads? Though I agree these roads should be identified, I am not sure that it is a CC project. Though a recommendation may be made to the select board to take on such a project. So that's where we would need to start is if we want to proceed with this, we should bring it to the select board to see if they want us to take on this project.
That kind of, a whole new look at it.
Yeah. But I do think, I like the signs that we're used to seeing better with the black
Yeah,
trim.
yeah, no, that's,
and the rounded.
that's a good comment.
I have to say that question has occurred to me several times
Yes,
since I joined the.
and that's something that we
Commission.
have to be very careful of. We have to stay within our own purview. We've got enough to do and a lot of exciting things we can do that are. And we spent a lot of time on this class 6 and actually look at, they put the 6 in instead of the Roman numeral. And, on this class 6.
Sure.
And should we be spending our time here?
Yeah.
Could we get clarification on that? Because the answer that I've perceived has gone back and forth
Yeah,
at,
we
at
have.
every meeting I've attended.
It has, and
It
that's
seems to me
why I got this from Ed after our last meeting. I went to him and said, the question
Yeah,
is,
seems pretty clear to me.
why are we spending so
I
much
was a
time
little bit
on this?
surprised that we were dealing with roads. If some of them are taken away as roads and become trails, then we need to think about it, but not
Right.
roads.
Now, this is something that I got from a person that I knew very well at DES. this is something that we might be interested in putting out. It's to do with wetlands and surface waters and the use of the off-road vehicles and wetlands. And that's a good notice to put out there so that people are
Sure.
aware.
Yeah.
There's actually it's a violation of the law, punishable by up to $10,000 if they go through wetlands when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And this
Back-
is from DES,
So
but
I
should we?
at this point, I think my recommendation is, and proposal is that we, make a recommendation to the select board. And because we have a whole, thing I think we're gonna discuss tonight that was written.
Yes,
Yes, and I think that that should be the basis. I mean, if I was well written, I have some comments to add to that. But, use that as a basis of what we're recommending the select board do and kind of take where we've left it and maybe move forward with it if they think it's appropriate.
Yeah,
yes,
I
that's
agree.
exactly what I want to recommend, because
I mean-
we've gotten off on so many different tangents on this subject.
but it's because one of our citizens brought it forth,
Yes,
converted the trails. That was the whole why we came to this,
yes.
Right.
And then we made a decision,
not to convert in the trails.
right, it's right in our minutes.
Right,
right,
Last time,
yep.
let's see, where did
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were pretty clear about
Mr.
that.
Green referenced the motion from the first class 6 road discussion.
Yep.
Stating that the Conservation Commission would not actively seek to convert class 6 roads to
Trail.
class A or class B. And that the Conservation Commission would instead pursue in engaging stakeholders to create a volunteer team for maintenance. She then referenced a signage discussion where the CC moved to have to chat with Mr. Taylor regarding signage needs. But we're not even, we should even check, whether the select board wants us to proceed with any signage.
I agree, and I would
But you
amend
make a motion now.
Tom's suggestion that whatever we say to the select board next should include, I would put it first, but that's, up for discussion. Should include a specific question, do you want us to be doing anything about the class 6 roads? We need that clarification,
Okay,
because we seem to have gone back and forth
Yeah.
180 degrees on this.
Yeah.
a couple times.
Right.
And we're spending, yes, I agree.
One thing we might want to add, and when we present it to select board, is another one of our reasons was, since we decided not to talk about it, trails, was we thought it was a nice idea, if I remember correctly, that by putting signs out, it just made, it clarified that these are recreational opportunities in the town. These are
Right.
places where people could take walks.
and I think
And the
that's
signs would help clarify that these are places you can take a walk.
so that they know that they exist there, because
Correct.
some of them, and we'll have to see what they think about having these
Yeah.
up to remind people.
Yeah,
Could we not confuse?
the two.
Yeah,
Yes, I
agree. I agree. Two different issues.
Two separate issues.
this is related to conservation.
Correct.
Yes.
Separate
I think
issue.
we should,
This one isn't.
Right.
I think we should put it aside, not to confuse it with something that we have doubt about.
Right,
This is the recreation, basically, is the theme, recreation, opportunities for recreation, not necessarily conservation.
right.
Indirectly conservation, because it gets people out into the woods
Mhm.
looking at things. But anyway, you're right. So I think we're heading down the right road with this.
Yeah, and it's somewhat similar to, maintaining trails, which Frank does. We're talking about not us doing it, but partnering with recreation groups.
And we have volunteers. I
Right,
don't know
that
if you're-
will, that can
want to-
maintain those, to make those more accessible for, and better for
Yeah,
people.
I take,
Which is
And
a
if-
good thing.
And
I
then,
take to heart Ed's comment that we may have a legitimate interest in making note of an additional recreational opportunity in the outdoors.
Mhm.
But that seems to be the limit of
Yeah.
what is clearly in our.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
our area.
So why don't we ask them whether our interest in it and the work we've done, we have done work.
Yeah.
It would be a shame to go to waste.
That's what I'm saying, we
Should we
recommended
go
that.
forward with something like just doing the signs
For identifying where the
for the
roads are.
limited purpose of identifying a recreational opportunity.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
the thing is the Conservation Commission has purchased signs previously. So that's kind of why we went down that road.
That's true.
Yeah,
Class 6 road signs?
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
but that may have been a mistake.
yeah.
it very might have been, or the old select board thought it was appropriate and the new select board doesn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, regardless, I think
So
we
we-
know the path forward.
We try to keep our mind in our purview.
Okay.
That we're natural resources.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm fine with all that. Good.
Can I make a comment? Sorry to
Please,
interrupt.
Jean.
The only thing, and I appreciate this discussion because it has been, I think we just need to view this as a positive clarification of our role and
Yeah.
kind of leave it at that.
Mhm.
But I do wonder if us, going out there and doing our inventory that we did notice, I thought, of some wetlands. I mean, isn't that then one thing we would comment on if in doing our inventory, we did notice, a vernal pool or something like that, that we should make the select board aware of that so that we don't run into the issue. And maybe you're suggesting it be a separate issue, this sign and this law that you're bringing up anew, Shirley.
Mhm.
But
I think
it seems to me
you
that we ought to
said
bring
we
that to
should-
their attention if there's a wetland or something to be protected from four-wheel vehicles.
Yeah,
Good comment.
and I know
Good
you
comment.
probably can't see the sign from there, but this is wetland protection. That, the DES, this is a sign that DES hands out and uses for conservation
Right.
missions.
But I think, what I'm hearing Gene say is that if we're gonna be handing this back to the selectmen, and, and I think, one of the things we're gonna tell them is, we're doing it because we think there's recreational opportunities, but also be aware that there are some wetland
Absolutely.
situations,
Right.
That's what I'm hearing from you, Gene, right?
Yeah, thank you. And that is,
Hand it back to the select board to decide what they want.
Can we add that there is an opportunity in this other topic to take care of some things that we noticed while we were out there? So that
Yes.
they don't think that we're asking for a specific mandate on the roads because there's a vernal pool out there. I think we
Yes.
can assure them, we did notice a few things. I mean, we saw
Yeah.
a lot of water flowing across one of the roads.
Yeah, with mud pond.
Yeah.
And- and that is our purview.
But we have other contexts in which we can address the things that are within our purview.
Our purpose when we went out there was actually to see where there are signs and where there weren't,
Right.
and where they needed to be replaced.
Correct.
And then, we, saw things that we were getting off track.
Yeah, so I think that by recognizing Ed's clarification memo, which I think is fair and good, and us clarifying for ourselves the things that we do want to pay attention to, we can then look at this and say, okay, wetlands is certainly one of those things, and we saw them. So it would not be proper for us to not mention that. That's it. That is our job. And then
Yep.
it's their job to enforce laws and whatever else. And I can see how the signs could be helpful in terms of at least creating opportunities for recreation as well. So I don't think we should back off completely. We should clarify, narrow, and then help ourselves. And maybe through the guiding principles, we can say, this is what we pay attention to, this alone. And then we're clear.
So would you like to make that, you started to make a motion?
Yes, I make a motion that we put together kind of all of our learnings and what we recommend to the select board be done with the class 6 roads and ask them the question whether or not they want to pursue it or whether they want us to.
Well, I don't think we should put,
No, don't give them a choice that we'll
yeah,
do
I
it.
don't think we should, include, if we include a lot of our learnings, I think we went off track on a lot of those.
Yeah, I don't think we have a
Yeah.
recommendation as to what to do substantively. with
Well, I
class.
think
Like
we-
what you
we've
said
identified which roads we think signs should be put on.
For recreational purposes and for, ecological or environmental purposes when it pertains to like a potential wetland or vernal pool. It should be noted, you know,
simplify.
Yeah,
I think you wanna go to the select board and say, we're not sure that posting signs on class 6 roads is the purview of the Conservation Commission, so we would like to turn that back to you. Period.
I think one of the big takeaways though from all the meetings and stuff we had was to partner with these recreation groups to improve them. And I don't think that, I would like that to get lost. I would like to make that as one of the big recommendations that we have is that they do partner with these groups. They were online with us, was a very strong community outreach on us, that they did not want these to be trails. They wanted to keep them roads. They're used by people that are handicapped. They're used, I mean, there's a lot of really good use of these trails, and they were willing to volunteer to maintain these.
Right.
I
And
don't
we
wanna
have-
lose, I don't wanna lose that, because I think that was a
We
really
won't.
good.
We have that in our
partnership.
minutes. That's what we decided, but then we really broadened too much.
can we do this? Can we just, one, mention that the issue of conversion to trails has come up? It's our understanding that that's not gonna happen. We support that. Two, we have put a certain amount of attention toward looking at the signage. We think they ought to be signed because of our interest in giving notice of a further recreational opportunity. We believe. Three, while we were out there, we noticed other natural features, other natural values, which we have other contexts under our consideration to discuss. This sign being it, just a full 1, 2, 3,
I like that.
isn't our work done?
I like that.
We still need to, I still think we need to really put in there that they need to partner with these recreation groups to make, to volunteer work, to work on and improve them and give them the names that we have in past meeting minutes.
Well, we've
But as soon
already,
as we start talking about the town endorsing working on the roads to improve them, then
Can't do that.
we can't do that, and we raise that whole thing.
No, as long as it's
we've got
volunteers.
volunteers. We've already got the volunteer.
But why open that can of worms?
Right, that becomes a project for us, a
That's
to-do
why,
for us.
Like Susan
That
said, the
just
less
clouds
forward,
what
the
we've already,
possible.
Right.
what we're trying to clarify. That-
Except, yes, I'm sorry, but I do think that if we can, and I'm with you 100% on simplification. I think it makes great sense. And I think your list of 3 things, but to Tom's point, and I think a few others, that, and it was before some of you were on the committee, the commission, that there was a very intense, lots of attendance from people across the town about wanting to volunteer to help maintain them. So if we can just make some non-committal, we're not taking it on as our job, but I think we should make a statement that we're in support of that or something.
Okay, good point.
That could be
Put
4,
that in
that could be number
category-
4.
Yeah, number 4. Sorry.
Can we include that in category 3? We are aware of other interests that may be within our purview, and we have context in which to discuss that.
See this,
But our work with respect to the class 6 roads is limited to, yeah, they ought to be signed in the interest of the recreational opportunity,
yes,
full stop.
that's exactly right. The people who came in and volunteer to help with them, it was because they did not want them to become trails.
Exactly.
They wanted them to stay.
That's what
class
drove that, their
six. And
whole
that doesn't,
turnout. Yeah.
That has nothing to do with us wanting to put in new signs on ones that needed it and signs that don't have them, places that don't have signs, so that for recreational value. And then you can add this to protect the wetlands.
Yeah, I liked how you described number 3, notice natural features during our work that we want to make sure are protected, something along those lines, because that is our job.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
So can we state what we think is is no longer our job. And we have closed that book. Now we're going to look at some things that we noticed along the way, including the volunteers, including the wetlands concern here. That may be our job, and we will be looking at that in the immediate future.
I like that. I understand what you're trying to do and I support that. Close out
See-
the stuff that gets people all worked up and
And
do
the
what we're supposed to do.
CC would instead pursue engaging local, we won't support the converting class 6 roads, to class A or B trails. And that the commission would instead pursue engaging with local stakeholders to create a volunteer team for maintenance. It's all right there, our first thing, and then we went off track. But,
But do we want to be involved with creating volunteer networks for that?
yeah.
Do we want to do that?
We
I don't
said
think
we
so.
voted to do that.
I know we did.
Yes, but,
I
I
don't
mean,
think so.
you can change it, but, and maybe the select board wouldn't want us involved. Maybe that's a
It
job.
sounds like from the letter you read, it sounds like they don't want us involved with that.
That's what it sounds like to me too, which is why I'm
It
suggesting.
sounds
the
like, you know,
clearest path forward for us is closing the book on what we can, which is our
Right.
opinion, do the signs, take care of it. And then we can look at that,
Yeah.
mhm.
the other
But that's
stuff.
one thing to ask, that will, you know, when, we present to the select board, you can say that there were people who did wish to see them remain, class 6 roads and were willing to volunteer to maintain them, to keep them that way.
Fine,
And is that something that they're interested in pursuing?
correct. And that's fine. That could be like 4, as Peter said, part of 3, but I think we should go any further than that. It should be a handoff based on what the letter that Ed wrote. I kind of agree with that. We should just
Yeah.
hand it off and let them decide what they want. This is our recommendation. These are our thoughts.
I mean, we got many exciting things that we can be doing,
Right.
rather than spending all our time.
Right. What were the 3 again, Peter? Well, the 1, we think it's a good idea for signs because of the,
We understand that the decision, the policy has been adopted not to convert them into trails.
we understand. 1,
That takes that piece of it out of our.
Right.
Number 2, we were asked to look at the signs for.
Yeah.
It
was suggested, we were.
was suggested we look at the signs. We did. We have determined that our limited interest in the signs is as a notice of an additional recreational opportunity. We support that. Please go forward with this.
if you so choose.
Go forward with the signs if you so choose.
Yeah.
3, along the way, these first 2 discussions, we noticed other features of natural value,
That should be recognized or should be noted.
that should be noted, and we are open to an opportunity to do that in the future, in future discussions.
I like that.
And then stop,
Yeah, I don't think that.
Yes, and then stop.
Clear.
and then stop. Don't, don't,
Leave them with the assurance that we're not shirking anything that's, the wetlands, yes, our responsibility. Further recreational opportunities that may arise in the volunteer context,
Just-
yes, we'll
just
look
say
at
your
that.
3 things and quit.
Yes,
Yeah, the third thing should be
And
about
the-
the wetlands being our responsibility.
that's one of the
Yeah.
wetlands and the volunteers. Lump
Right.
those together in the third thing and say, yeah, we're looking at that going forward.
But
If they wish.
no,
Well,
don't, don't
that's
say
us
that.
without
Don't-
We'll look to the wetlands, but as far as the, okay, yeah.
No,
we
don't
definitely-
say
wetlands
if
is
they
our
wish.
purview.
Don't say that. Just say what we
Yeah.
want to say
Yeah.
and then stop.
Right,
What I'm hearing is you keep adding things and rephrasing and making it bigger and more complex. And what you need to do, I'm convinced, in town things, is to be absolutely clear and as short as possible.
Right.
Don't give them anything to attack. Just say, these are the three things we think. Thank you for listening. And shut up.
I
We
think
need to,
myself, I think the last one should be our interest as the commission is to protect wetlands.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
all it needs
perfectly
to say.
good thing to
That is
say.
our interest in it.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good thing to say.
Yeah, that's a good way to
But
finish.
don't ask them for their opinion and don't be too polite to them. Just because we wanna hold on to the power we have.
Right.
And
But we don't want-
give them
We don't
don't
want to
give
be,
them a chance.
we don't want to be known for getting into areas that aren't in our purview either.
Yeah, so we just keep it as simple as you possibly can and as short as you possibly can.
Mhm.
Do you guys have a motion?
Yeah.
I think on three, you want to read say those three things again? Or you
Well,
repeat them?
if
I can
Tom's
read the one
gonna
I
go,
wrote down.
let him say the motion.
Who's gonna
Well,
go?
I wanna hear the third one that's been back and forth.
Right.
I'm still insistent that we include something in there about partnering with volunteerism to improve and maintain the roads. And I'm saying that we
I'm
recommend that they
fine.
do that.
I'm
I'm not saying
fine
that
with,
we do it.
I'm,
I'm not saying we as a commission do it. I'm saying.
oh,
we're
then why say anything about it at all? If it's,
Because we're,
if it's not
because that's our job is to make recommendations. Not necessarily to do, it's to make recommendations.
I
which
know,
will
but
be
it's
done.
to make recommendations about the listed items within our purview.
Right.
And if it's not for further recreational opportunities, why is it?
It does further
I think-
recreation.
Then it
Get
comes
from
under the
them is, how do
category.
you think we should do this? And that's your opportunity to say, there are volunteers.
Craig, don't give up.
Again,
Wait,
in the interest of keeping it.
Craig is, yeah, can we let Craig speak and go back to this? Cause
Yes,
he's here
yes.
to
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
about rails.
We-
Absolutely.
So let's work on that motion. Let's maybe think about the motion a little bit.
That's true.
Okay, thank you.
Would you like me to read the three items?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, so you've landed on three clarifications to make to the select board. One, that the Conservation Commission understands that they have made a decision not to convert class 6 roads into trails.
Okay.
Two, that the Conservation Commission has determined the limited interest in signage for class 6 roads is to identify recreational opportunities within the town if the select board would like to move forward with having signs created. And three, that the Conservation Commission has identified other wetland areas of value along the class 6 roads that can have signage added by the commission in the future, as well as coordinating volunteer groups for the class 6 road maintenance.
I would tighten up the third one even more by saying, we've identified other features of natural interest that we may wish to address in the future. We have identified an opportunity to coordinate with other groups interested in improving the roads for additional recreation opportunities that we will also look forward to considering.
I like that, don't you?
I would take out that if clause.
Yeah, there's one problem with that. The work that people do on those roads may not align with preserving wetlands.
Right.
You know what I mean? That work may not. The wetlands, there may be a vernal pool that's a very important vernal pool because it's developed over the course of time. And the people that want to develop it as a recreational trail may want to just tear it apart. So I kind of think we should just leave that alone. Because, you know, when those folks came in and talked about, they were really strongly against trails, that pretty much said that they were willing to do some work. So we should leave it at that. They're the ones
Well-
that want to do the work. And we gave into that by saying, yes, we support not making them trails. By supporting that, we kind of said, yeah, if you want to do the work, do it. But it's up to you to do it. But I wouldn't promote it because again, it may go against the grain of
No,
of
no,
what
I'm
we're
not-
all about.
I'm not suggesting we promote it. I think my language suggested that we would be happy to consider that in future.
More of just an FYI to them, there's
Yeah.
work that's been done in the
Yeah.
background and.
You're right.
your
Yeah,
work.
that the idea is that whatever
Whatever you
is
said, there's an opportunity. I like that wording.
Mm.
There's an opportunity
an
for them.
opportunity to look
Because,
at it.
because to do it, my understanding is for them to do volunteer work on class 6 roads, it has to get approved by the select board.
Oh, yeah,
So you're not giving them a carte en blanche saying, go ahead and do it.
Right.
no.
And we're not
No.
making any commitment,
Right.
substantive commitment
And it
of what,
isn't up
of
to
what
us
our
to organize
consideration
it.
is gonna
Right.
result in.
I
We
totally
can just
agree with that.
consider it.
So if they get the approval from the select board should be coming to us and say, are there any conservation?
Is this
concerns?
okay?
And then we would give the feedback on if there's any vulnerables or something that they need to.
Bridge, when we come to it.
Has a-
Jean?
Thank you. I don't want us to lose the focus here of we support volunteer participation in helping create recreational opportunities. Our role in that will be to report to you natural resources that have been noted during our inventory that should be protected in that process.
That's
I
fine.
think
May
I
I
think we-
suggest
that's the way we tie both of those things together and kind of condense it a
Yeah.
little bit. But that's our job.
suggest that
Mhm.
Tom come back at our next meeting, it's only a month away, with a proposal to take to the select board. You listen to all this, we're going over and over the same thing, and we have a gentleman waiting to talk to us.
Yeah, I think it needs to be refined. We're almost there, but you're right. It might not be bad for, Tom and Ed, because Ed is the one that's really driving this,
I
right?
would support that.
What,
Somebody,
driving what?
somebody taking their,
Ed has been leading this whole
their
thing. so-
best.
In what
craft.
way?
And he's on vacation.
No, he was the
No,
one that was,
He's not on vacation.
no,
He couldn't, he had a prior commitment.
but I like what Susan said, that maybe we should just, we've got already what Whitney's mentioned, we've almost got it there. But shouldn't we just try to hone it down a little bit and maybe try to come, or you want to
Yeah,
try to
let's-
decide it
let
right now?
Somebody take a crack at a draft of it.
Sure. I'm willing, and I can work, Ed and I
Bounce it
are
off.
our neighbors, so we can.
Yeah.
We can
No.
talk to each other and come.
You don't like that? Okay, well,
I think that we're gonna get off track for that.
Okay.
I like what Peter suggested myself.
just,
Yeah, but someone has to write that.
Yeah,
We
And-
either
Are you
need
will-
to take time during this meeting to draft it, and I don't know if there's a procedural way that we can allow our guest speaker to, to speak, and then we can finalize this together while we're here in a meeting.
I
And to
mean,
get,
hey, in the beginning of that, of what you said.
oh, is
Sorry.
there a way for us to go ahead with our agenda, and then we can work on the wording for a very concise recommendation, points 1, 2, and 3, because we're here now and we're very close, I think, and
Yeah.
just get that drafted? Or do we have to finish it before?
just let Craig slide in ahead and get, so and then we can
Yeah.
come
I
back to
don't,
it.
yeah, I'd like to see this put to rest tonight
Okay.
myself.
Yeah, we're close.
We have to, I have to worry
Okay.
about the wording as much as we're making of this now. I think that we can say what we feel we need to do, especially after reading Ed's letter, Ed
Yeah.
Morrison.
Tom, do you feel like you've got enough to do a draft?
I think sure is we could do it tonight. I think we are
I
close enough. I
I
agree
could
with you.
also,
Working with Ed.
I think we're close enough to do it tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
Or why don't we,
Yeah, let's Craig come in and
yeah, why don't we get Craig?
give
back?
his update, and then we'll
We'll finish it.
Yeah.
Hammer it out.
finish
Yeah.
the wording. that-
I'd like to
I think-
not have this on the agenda next month.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Okay, Craig,
Craig, come on in, buddy.
Be glad to see how far he's gone, see if we can get him
here
there.
it goes.
Whitney,
He's here.
Okay, sorry, Rhett.
is it?
Craig,
possible
our
for you
5
to put
minutes
your
is a
screen
long
up
time.
On there, it's not, okay. Just nicer sometimes to see it
Yeah,
in writing.
no, I cannot.
Okay.
That's the plus.
So, Madam Chair, members of the commission. Hi. So what's going on? Last big job we did was to redeck new handrails and so on. The first bridge on Suki Marsh Trail, the one that goes over the spillway of the dam. That happened at the same time the town sent in their excavator and demolished the beaver dam and turned that that natural phenomenon into a far more free flowing marsh with a lower water level, presumably. I don't know how that's gonna sugar off, but that's not my department. So what we are discovering is that the Suki Marsh Trail had been essentially abandoned for many years. But with some bridge repair and a short relocation, we can return it once into a kind of lollipop shape, where you have to cross the dam. Then you turn either left or right, and there's a loop of trail, and then you can return. For that, you need a total of 3 bridges. The third one, Alex Hartov and I repaired on the upper part of the Peter Brook back in about October of 23. Then in 24, we didn't do anything. Then in 25, we have gone and fixed, as in new materials as needed for the one on the dam. The remaining bridge is the second bridge in, far into the dam. You gotta cross that brook. I have looked at it, and the handrails, the posts, decking is all native, probably spruce, maybe hemlock. It's been there a long time. It's all rotten. It is not especially safe at this point, and the best thing to do with it is to demo that, salvage the pieces if you can, and otherwise, things like the deck boards, which have a healthy coat of moss on them, just scatter them in the woods and let them finish rotting. I have made use of the $1,000 the town has allocated to trails to buy some materials for the new bridge, of which total would be $584.09. This is 2 new 6x6x16 pressure treated stringers, and also the materials for handrails, posts, and new decking of 2x6 full dimension rough sawn hemlock, which lasts longer than any wood that I've ever seen out there. But unlike pressure treated, it does not get slippery when wet. Slippery when wet strikes me as a very poor idea for an actual deck that people walk on. It also increases the town's liability rather substantially. We need that for what? So unless I'm ordered to do otherwise, it's going to be 2x6 rough sawn hemlock. I have the materials already bought. That the longer pieces are marked and have been delivered to the dam by a town crew. Shorter pieces are at my house. Some of them had to be sprayed with a couple of coats of primer and finish because they were cut off short, and they're not gonna be able to get to them with anything else because they're gonna have posts in front of them. But basically, the short pieces are all cut to length, and the others are at the dam. Also included was the various fasteners, following on from the same things that we got for bridge number 1 there back in April. And so we have all the materials, and it's purely a matter at this point of pulling a crew together. Crew of volunteers. In this case, due to the fact of the old stringers are probably not compromise, but since you can easily afford brand new ones, it's better to make the entire bridge brand new materials so that you can say on such and such a date, this is built all brand new, and we'll see how long that lasts. Because there's one thing that would be aggravating, is to have old stringers with new material on them, then in due course, decide that the stringers or bridge beams can no longer support the bridge, and you've got to take it all apart just to put new ones in. That's not smart. Better to have brand new. So that is included in the total amount of $584. When we do get volunteers together and we get some idea of their time availability, then we can proceed. First thing we gotta do is to demolish, remove the old bridge. Then, in order to level it, which the present one is not, we're going to have to dig out a small area on each bank, enough so that we can put in some crushed rock, of about 4 inches size, a couple layers of it. And then on top of it, the 3/4 inch crush, all of it tamped. Then we'll put the PT sills on that and level them. Then it'll be time to put on the beams and stringers and to square them and keep them in place with angle irons with the modern replacement for leg bolts, GRK RSS structural screws. Then you can commence to putting on the posts and then the deck. All of which is pretty much routine stuff. We've done it dozens of times. The crew I wanted to put together would include at least one, preferably two, experienced carpenters who have done this kind of work at least several times for us. And so once we get on site with the crew and all the materials, the actual assembly would take about one workday. When they're done with that, we have available to us the 15 or 16 foot old pressure treated 6x6 stringers, which I intend to cut them into sections of about 2 foot in length. And those will become sills for bob bridges that will extend from the end of this bridge straight across a gentle slope that probably is wet at some time of the year, and heading for the trail, which is up on a bank nearby, about 30 or 40 feet. It so happens that I have scrounged kiln dried 2x6 by 23 inch from a reeling site. We have at this time 56 of them, which is about 28 feet worth, which is going to go far towards decking the bog bridges that would be needed to cross this piece of wet ground. In other words, we've scrounged materials. And we managed to do it within the budget the town has set. We had a slightly smaller amount for the bridge number 1. That was about 320 or 330 thereabouts, but we were not buying new beams for that one. They were still in very good shape. So we're going to end up spending most of the $1,000, $850 or $900 or so on bridges. But this is why we have to have that for parts you purchase.
Mhm.
You know, we are not going to do this the old fashioned way by going out into the woods and finding some suitable trees and felling them and limbing them and peeling off the bark. And then we certainly have the skills and tools to carve them into bridge parts. They're still native wood. You still have to go to a lot of trouble to keep them from rotting any too soon. And if you can bring stuff in, you know, that close to the road, it's very much worth the money that you're gonna spend in order to save the time. Because volunteers who are able and willing to do this are very rare.
That was,
So we're going to end up with a nice new trail
excellent new bridges such that the town's liability for the quality of the bridges is probably not at any risk. I can think of, you never know what kind of fools will, hurt themselves there and think they're gonna sue, but the state has RSA's about that,
Mhm.
which I could give you the numbers. Let's say there's never been a successful lawsuit against the state or any town in it for a failure to have a reasonably safe trail. The other thing to remember is that you have in this state the assumed risk law, which is the one that says that if you are recreating on someone else's land and they didn't charge you admission, then they are not responsible for any hazardous conditions that you may encounter. That works out very well, and there has been one lawsuit that was decided last year, and the plaintiffs lost for that reason. So we're in good shape, and I intend that with the kind of careful building we're gonna do, not only is the crew gonna stay safe, but so will the users. To the extent humanly possible. And I'm willing to defend that in court if I ever have to, which probably won't. Fair? So what we need is volunteers. And the question is, did you have a sign-up sheet or anything at Old Home Days?
We got some people, the names. Did I click the names or did Ed? I can't remember. There was some names of people that were interested in helping out.
Do
Good,
you have
I'm trying-
any-
good. We
I'm
need-
trying to think.
Who has them?
I think Ed has the list, but I'm not 100% sure. I may have it, but I don't know. I'm not sure where it is right now, but there's a list of names. I don't have it right now. Between the two of us, there's a list of names.
Okay.
Good, you have
We
my
should get
email?
that as soon as possible.
Yeah, I have to, I can't remember because Ed, at the last minute, Ed was saying, well, I wasn't gonna be here. But then he might have kept it and I'll have to look back at stuff. It
Please
might be
do.
in the box. I have the boxes and stuff for
good.
you.
Probably it's in there.
It's probably in the box, yeah.
Okay. well,
There were a couple people, Craig, there wasn't a lot, but there were a couple people that expressed interest in trails.
You know something? Anyone who's willing to turn out, be safe and follow directions is better than 10 or 100 who
Yeah.
won't.
But anyway, we'll find it, okay, and we'll get it to Shirley,
It's
okay?
very
big one.
possible.
Yeah.
It probably was put in that box, hopefully.
Yeah, there's a list of everybody that attended, and there were 2 or 3 people that expressed interest in trails.
Good.
Excellent. I also have here, of course, another list of people who've turned out in the past. And this is purely what came out of Enfield and is not even counting various Cardigan Highlanders who also get invited. So with any luck, we're going to have certainly enough people.
Good.
I mean, it's a fun event, work together as a team and see the good results.
And
Not
my
right now.
knees, my knees healed enough, I might be able to help you now.
Good. Now, you don't have to walk far.
No, I know it's not far. No, I'm walking fine.
Oh, good.
It's amazing. Craig, another thing,
Yeah.
you need to think about too, for next year, and if you'd be thinking about this, is budget season's coming up. And do we wanna ask, how much do we wanna ask the town to provide for next year for trails?
Well,
you figure out
one
what
thing
you
we
think.
can be certain of is that if you've managed to, if you manage to get $1,000 out of them so far, at least we should be able to count on that.
That's what I want to. but I'm
Because
just
after
wondering
all, the
if-
$1,000 that has been appropriated is being spent, and I can account for every cent of it, and the results are to be seen in these new bridges.
We would ask for that, I would want to
Well,
every
we should
year
ask for two.
anyways, but,
We should ask for 2,000.
Go
why
right
would
ahead.
we ask for 2,000 if we didn't need it? That's why I'm asking you to
That's
think
what,
about
that's
what
what
you're,
other people will ask you.
yes, that's right. And,
Right.
we're less apt to get something if what we need is the information to back it up.
Yeah, like a
If you can
sense on
give
how many,
me-
yeah, sense on how many new bridges you might think
Yeah.
we would
If you can think
build
about,
next year. Because bridges are the big expense, right?
I would say so. Everything else involves just tools and people and the occasional
Right.
pizza.
Right.
So if you think about what you would hope to do next year and give a idea of how much it would cost, that would be good to have in this fall because
Here's a
we'll
short
start
version.
putting in, or, pardon me.
Here's the short version. The only other area I've identified as needing bridges is way out on the Bicknell Brook Trail, about a mile either way. And that is, we need to have a couple of 3 10-foot bridges out there. They're already spruce, the town has gone and filled, and they did it last year. And we can still take the limbs off and peel the bark and make use of the tree trunks. That is way too far to be carrying or dragging any PT wood.
Hmm.
We don't know how to do that. And in terms of saving money, it is helpful to remember that we have these pieces of KD deck, well, 2x6s and 2x4s that I've scrounged from building sites. They're all in storage in this building.
Hmm.
I have at this time of deck 23 inches wide, we have 28 feet worth of 2x6s and 30 feet worth of 2x4s. Now, what we're gonna do to preserve those longer than you would expect of them being in the great outdoors and subject to all kinds of, little critters that love to gnaw on dry wood. I had a talk the other day with Jim Taylor, Public Works. And if we're going to preserve wood or something, then the idea is we gotta have a material safety data sheet. And follow all those rules and so forth. But I got to talking with people who work on preserving decks and log cabins and so on. And they say you don't need to bother with that stuff. Go over to what's that place which is a wholesale of groceries and so on in West Lebanon?
Oh, BJ's?
Yeah, BJ's.
Mhm.
Get about a 2.5 gallon container of cooking oil. It's brand new. And critters will eat something that has had used cooking oil put on it because that takes on the taste of the food that was cooked in it. Brand new stuff is not. All it is vegetable oil. It is good for cooking. It cannot possibly be toxic. So the idea is to take the KD, and 2x6s, put them in a tote box, one end down, one end up. They lean a little bit. And you then just pour the cooking oil in there and allow the capillary action of the very dry, like 20% moisture content wood to soak that up in there into the great ends of whatever is down in the bottom. And after that's sort of soaked up, then you flip them over and the other end can soak up. That being the case, when wood is preserved in oil and so forth, then things like mold have no chance at it. So I'm told.
Greg, yeah, have any experience with flame treating timber?
With flooding?
With flame treating
Nope,
as a preservative?
nope. That would happen in certain circumstances I can imagine for out west. And we gotta remember that the trees there evolved to be periodically in brush fires. That's not so for trees here in the east.
No, I'm talking about KD lumber. There's techniques for flame treating KD lumber and then soaking it in your vegetable oil.
Never heard of it, Peter.
Okay, let's get together and talk about it sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we better. So would you like me to do anything about advertising for volunteers at this point?
We have that, and we have the,
After we get that list,
Well, yeah, I gotta, it's no more than a couple people expressed
we
interest.
still take it.
so,
We have the trail maintainers wanted signs around. If you want to go to some further effort, that's fine, more the merrier.
if I
We
want
can
to-
always find more people, more work.
I want to go to, what kind of effort? Did you say? I didn't get that?
To get more names.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you can
Okay.
come up
I
with,
mean, would you want me to put it on the listserv?
yeah,
Okay,
I don't know how to do that,
I'd be glad to.
because aside from this, the first task of, trail workers is to be trail tenders. You have to patrol trails. You have to, come back to brush, paint the blazes, chop off the bull rounds. If there are drains, you have to rake those. Most crews don't, ours do, and ours survive things like Hurricane Irene rather better than the others do. But, the discipline of, trail tending is the basis for everything else you do, because it's what keeps what you have in working order. Preventive maintenance. I realize it's a radical concept, but
Well, thank you very much
sure,
for your report. Thank you for all you're doing.
it's very much a matter of routine. You just have to pay attention.
I see.
Mhm.
Next on our agenda is public comments, and we don't have any public there tonight.
Anyway, thank you very much for this time.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Yeah, thanks for the update.
When I get volunteers and we can finish to negotiate a time, then, I will let you know, and we can also advertise that.
Mhm.
I hope it's sometime this month. But I'll have to invite the known and present volunteers, and we'll see what happens then. Tom, you're on the list.
Mhm.
Right. So is Ed.
Yep.
So's Peter for that matter. Don't know who is able to turn out, but everyone who's on the list is gonna get invited.
Keep asking, we'll say yes to no.
This is.
Well, that's kind of the name of the game with all volunteers around the pond.
Yeah, it's.
So the next thing on our agenda is approve the meeting minutes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
There's
Uh,
one correction I found.
Okay, let's put them on the table first. And then
Okay, we've moved.
anyone make a move to,
Move, do we discuss the minutes or
Yep.
whatever?
Second,
okay, you have a correction?
Yeah, on line 133,
Guess what? I didn't print the numbers.
that,
it's public comment.
Ms. Green suggested, I think it's an evening presentation instead of even.
Oh, yes, I noticed that too. Yeah, and I don't know where that several hours come from, Whitney. I don't know what I was thinking, but I don't think I suggested.
But if that
several.
was in the recording, that's what.
Maybe several different.
But I think even is evening.
Yeah,
I'll just say evening presentation.
yeah. I think I'm not sure how that. Yeah, I know.
That's the only thing I found, because Whitney does such beautiful minutes.
Oh my gosh.
We are gonna miss
It'll be
you
your
so
last
much.
one, yeah, this
This
is
is
my
the
last
last
meeting.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
okay, so do I hear any other corrections?
No,
Jean?
I only have one where it mentions, and I'm sorry, I was just looking for the line number. It does mention, when we're talking about, the garden topic, that
Mhm.
I said I would lead it or whatever. I think I was asked if I would, and I said I would consider it, and I'm leaning towards that positively, but I just wanted to kind of point that out. I don't think it
Yeah.
needs to be
Line
corrected.
number,
I'm sorry.
do you have a line number?
I'm looking for it right now. I apologize.
Maybe around 238?
238, Ms. Hinshaw said she would be in favor of organizing it and agreed, yeah, with the comments. I mean, I didn't actually say that. I said I would consider it. I had to kind of think about that. That's all. I'm happy to do it actually, so I don't know if it needs to be corrected, but I just wanted to point that out. You can leave it as it is. Never mind. I've just talked myself out of it.
Not out of leading it.
No, not out of that. Never,
I
yeah.
don't,
I'm just-
yeah.
We're good. Never mind.
The other comments or,
no,
Move that the
Oh,
minutes
thank you
be
again.
approved as corrected.
Whitney, for wonderful minutes. We're gonna miss you so much.
Okay, I second Susan's motion.
Did,
We need to move to approve the minutes.
Susan did.
We got it.
yeah,
I did.
No, she just made a motion that accept as corrected.
And she's been seconded twice.
yeah, you're good. You just need to vote. Roll call.
Okay, roll call vote.
Jean Balgrowski Hinshaw, aye.
Jay Wellens, aye.
Susan Brown, yes.
Peter Hurstein.
Shirley Green, aye.
Tom Claus, I.
Unanimously.
Okay.
And thank you, Whitney.
Whitney, you're great. And
Well,
you're patient.
when you can write all those minutes and we only have a couple little things like adding an ing to even, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm usually surprised there aren't more, honestly.
Okay, so
Yeah, however, what we're
why
gonna
don't we
do
do the
with your dog?
biochar and then we have class 6 roads and we'll wrap that up after we do our, I think we already talked about doing a public presentation at the Enfield Shaker Museum. with the
Yeah.
biochar.
Let me give that some context.
Mhm.
What I've written up, sent to everybody. And given you hard copies, was in response to what I understood to be my charge in the last meeting to draw up a proposal for how to conduct a discussion over the next months, about biochar. And the first thing I'd like to do is put it into the greater context of soil conservation, because that's really what it's all about. And I want everybody to understand that I'm very cognizant of our conservation charge. So all of this I'm putting in that context. Also, I've included a category at the skipping around a little bit, but I've included a category for a presentation on or a segment of presentation on biochar potential in Enfield. What biochar and soil conservation in general could mean for Enfield, and I want to make sure that I keep everything in that context of what is going to be the real concrete benefits for the community. And also now serving on the solid waste and recycling committee, where there's considerable overlap with these issues. So even though I've treated it as a subject here, I want you all to know that I consider it a theme that runs through all of this. The broader implications of soil conservation for our environment conservation values, as well as the value of specific things to the community. So I won't read you through my cover letter, except to reiterate that I have taken a number of courses, sessions that I've taught in the past, everything from quick 20-minute presentations up to a week-long school we held in biochar and soil conservation in Sonoma County about 10 years ago. Broken it down into 5 or 6 topics and outlined each one of those as a separate presentation. The first presentation would be sort of an overview of the of all 5 or 6 presentations by way of introducing it to the community. I've introduced it to this committee, but I think there are individuals in town, certainly town officials and employees with an interest in it, that I would like to start with a very general presentation, which would be an hour or 2 version of what I presented to this commission a couple of months ago.
So approximately 2 hours.
Now, that first session of the overview, depending on what people think is an appropriate amount of time to take up, I'm thinking of between an hour to no more than 2 hours, perhaps with a break in the middle of it. And that's true for actually each one of these sections. Biochar and fire I've divided into two subsections because there's a lot of theory and science behind the process of actually making biochar and infusing biochar with the physical and chemical characteristics it needs. There's a lot of science and fire theory behind all of that, none of which means anything without actually seeing it done. So I would like to develop a classroom session of that, which could be up to 2 hours, and a practical application of it, which I think is the one thing that I would insist we set 2 hours for, because it should be on site in a farm type environment with safety supervision. I'd love to get the fire department involved here and get a volunteer with the F1 equipment out there for it so that we can really do some significant burns and not have to do just models and let people imagine what it could be. One of the important things of the fire session is that it also provides a way of cleaning up brush pile burns, refuse burns, even home fire pit burns, which create an awful lot of smoke, an awful lot of emissions. But the same process we use for making biochar with an open fire cleans up an open fire, reduces the particulate emission by some 90% and reduces the greenhouse gas emissions by at least 50% when it's done in a particular way. So this is one area that I think has benefits for the community far beyond producing biochar, that I would like to involve the fire department in and see if the fire department isn't interested in it for their own purposes, because it's a safer method of burning, because it happens faster and at higher temperatures, which mean a couple of things. There are no flying embers as a result of it, and the burn of any given amount of biomass takes a much shorter period of time, which in itself decreases risk in the environment.
Now, have you considered where you think is a good location?
I would love to do it at Kate's farm, and I wish you were here to respond to that.
Yeah,
There may be locations at the Shaker Village that would be appropriate. There could be,
and probably that'd be good to discuss with the fire department.
absolutely, I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could you take care of?
I,
So the whole
tell me who I
overview
should
would
talk,
be at
should I
that.
just talk to the chief over there?
Yeah.
Okay,
May I make a comment, Peter?
yeah,
As a long-term teacher, people can pay attention for about 45 minutes.
correct, you are.
And you'll have to give them a break. If you're gonna go for
Yes.
2 hours, you have got
Mention
to give
break.
them a break. You can't have a 2-hour presentation and expect to get people.
I'm well aware, and I thought I mentioned that when I mentioned the
Yeah.
2 hours, an hour with the break. Typically, in my all-day session, which is on an introduction to biochar and a practicum in combustion methods, we actually have 3 breaks. We have a 2-hour morning session with a snack break in between. We have a substantial lunch period, and then we'll have a 2-hour period in the afternoon for the burn. So I'm right with you on.
You see this as being publicized not just for Enfield, for the whole Upper Valley area.
I would be perfectly happy to do that. At our week-long biochar school in Sonoma, we had about 50 participants. And of course, I had help with the faculty, and anybody with teaching experience who would like to assist in that regard would be more than welcome. I would like to have anyone on this commission interested to have their assistance through the whole thing. There are a lot of roles, as you can imagine, in staging 5 or 6 sessions. But the way I'd like to do that is hold off on the last 5 sessions, concentrate on the first one, set a target date as soon as possible and a target venue
Mhm.
for the introductory course. And as we prepare, publicize, talk about that session, begin, and when it finally comes to fruition, we should have a feeling of the level of interest in the community in this and be able to better plan what will or will not be the future of the course. But I think establishing that kickoff event as a pretty substantial event, I think you can imagine an expanded version of the presentation I gave
Right.
a couple
think-
of months ago.
One thing we should,
And then make decisions about what to do and what to schedule in the future when we get some feedback from interested people.
I think there
How
should
are
be
you gonna
monthly,
fund this?
monthly, write-ups in the newsletter for one plate, in the
Sure.
town newsletter. To give it,
Sure, I'd love to have someone work with me on, because I'm still feel very new in town and don't know all the communications.
How are you gonna fund this? Or are people going to pay to attend?
The funding of the initial presentation would be no more than having the venue for an hour or two and having volunteers maybe to assist me in setting up and taking care of all of that. I have not thought about what funding might be required. I don't have experience with such outreach presentations that this commission or other similar town.
well, we do need funding for anything, because, I mean, we take advantage of, as far as publicity, free publicity.
Yes,
And
what other expenses might there be?
there, unless we had to pay for a venue, you would know if there are any expenses that would be involved. Other than that,
I
We
don't,
wouldn't have
I don't anticipate any venue expenses.
Me neither.
I would suppose that, I would hope that a landowner who would be interested in reaping some direct benefits from the biochar production might be interested
Right.
in a trade to that
So,
effect, which has been my experience
yeah,
in
we
the
talk
past.
with Kate first,
Yeah,
yeah, and then, we can always go to check with the museum, because you said that'd be a likely spot.
mhm.
Or you may know other properties that would be good.
I do. There's Wade Campbell's place down on 4A. I think he is doing business as Pleasant Valley Produce now. He's got a
Oh, yeah,
in there,
yeah,
and he's got several acres that are very wide open.
so I guess it
The
would be,
I don't know, does the fire department have a training facility or
they might, you
location?
want to check with them.
Could it be
Yeah, we
anything
do.
better than that, just to
We
get?
have a brand new firehouse.
I know we do, and I'm wondering if there's any land that went along with that they might use for,
No, there's
No,
the rest
nothing.
of the granite.
Just a little-
But they may have an area that they used for training.
anyway, that would be very much later in the program, and we can develop that as a resource as. we
Well,
go
there's
along.
cookies and coffee.
Cookies and coffee, I think I can probably cover.
I would think the community center would be able to use for the presentations, right?
The one
Indoor.
thing I would not, the one thing I
Yeah, the indoor,
request
Yeah,
is a venue other than the community room for doing this. I frankly hate that room.
it's so, the acoustics are terrible.
The acoustics are terrible.
Can
And
probably,
if we can find what about
the performance center at the museum, I'm
the
sure. will
performance
give you-
center at the museum? What
You're
about,
saying Like that.
Whitney
Because they
Hobbs
took down the
conference room.
curtains and the sound is just dreadful.
so one thing,
And
It just echoes. It really does, Shirley. It's
what about the
Well, I
upstairs
mean,
room?
curtains is an easy fix.
It-
I'm
well,
sure
it-
if they discover that that's bothering the acoustics, the curtains will go back up. But,
What about that
I haven't
upstairs room
emailed
at the
Carolyn yet,
library
but I
that
will.
used to be a theater of some kind?
yeah, that would be.
That's Whitney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the AV is in the middle of being done, but the last update was at the select board meeting was that it should be done relatively soon. So I would imagine in the next month or.
Yeah,
The next month or two, I think, is fine for this. As
Yeah.
gardeners wrap up and farmers wrap up their busy summer season, they're looking to fall projects. It's been my experience that that's when interest in this kind of a program.
so the first one will be an hour or two inside. It
Yes.
won't be the outside.
Yes,
Okay,
the first,
then that's what you need to
the
concentrate.
overview session, the intensive on soil, biochar in the soil, biochar and soil management. The first 2.5 would all be inside.
Okay,
The only outside one would be the fire practicum in somebody's field.
and you're over, then.
And then the wrap up would be pretty much a summary of what we've learned and where we go from here and where we could go from here.
You might do your practicum in the field across from the Greystone dwelling. Off 4A, that big field,
Yeah.
say, hey,
Yeah,
That would be fine.
yeah, but you would most likely want to go
Do you
to.
have an idea?
Yeah, just, I just wanted to say for the Whitney Hall conference room, check with Ed, the town manager,
Yeah.
about availability for that. But the other, thing that may interest the town, also you would check with Ed, would be the, former Shed Street DPW location as a site for your live burn
Oh, yes.
activity, because that site is a
Yeah.
brownfield site, and so I don't know if like having the biochar could help with the soil health there.
Absolutely.
There's like
idea.
DES
The
involved.
most important applications of biochar is in soil remediation, and
That's
Yeah.
great.
but they're
I
going
started-
to build a huge, it's been sold to Oaks.
Yeah, they
And
do
they're
have a
gonna
purchase
build a huge
agreement, but it's
apartment complex
pending
there.
But that
approval
won't
from
be right away.
DES, so biochar might be a good opportunity
Yeah.
there for the town and everybody to.
That would be a great fit.
It
Another one would be if we knew who the owner was, still had a relationship with the owner of the old, auto salvage yard on.
Oh, yes,
Oh, Chase's.
on-
on
Oh,
4A,
Jesus, yeah.
yeah. So talk with, yeah.
But I would
you
check with
guys
Ed
talk
for
with
that,
Ed
yeah.
first.
Anyway, it would
Yeah.
be a site like that where we've got plenty of room, people feel like there's no fire danger, which there really is less any, I mean, I've seen brush piles burning in the woods in the winter here, so, people ought to be covered.
So I'm
Yeah.
curious, how do you plan, or are you looking for input from us? You're gonna generate enough interest in this to fill the room?
Through every publicity
Worcester,
channel
Facebook, the town has a Facebook page,
that can be
website.
suggested to me, the town Facebook page. There's a couple of Upper Valley newsletters that we get at home. One is that one that is just this extensive list, but there's another one run by a guy. It's called Valley Morning or Valley Sunrise or something like that. Have you seen that? That I think is terrific because it's more like a blog and it's a daily blog of what's going on in the valley. Over the next days and weeks, I hope to be getting suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, the local papers, another thought I had,
Wherever I can.
Upper Valley News, local paper.
And I would love a volunteer from this group who has more experience and knowledge of the community than I do, that help me find my way along those lines, because I don't have those communication channels except.
Kate does a lot of, like Facebook, assisting different groups in town with Facebook.
Kate
posts
is
and
that
kind of
person who
thing,
knows
So she might be a
everybody
good one,
in
yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll try to,
Okay.
and she's still with our committee, isn't she?
Oh, yeah,
No,
she just couldn't come tonight because vacation Bible
Oh.
school started today and
Oh,
she.
she's got a great vacation
Very
thing going on, good.
Oh, it isn't, it's Vacation Bible School that she's working, has a lot to work with. But so if you start that process and keep us informed, finding a location and,
Yes, yeah. So I will flesh out a proposal for a first session with the understanding that as we go along and the picture sort of emerges of what the community interest might be, that will inform revision and fleshing out details to the other 4, 5, 6 sessions that
Right.
I feel capable of
Yeah.
doing.
Good.
And if it turns out that any one of these sessions ought to be given twice, I'd be glad to do that too.
Mhm.
Cause I just have my, all I need is a thumb drive and gas in the truck and I
Yeah.
can.
Well,
deliver it
I'm
anywhere.
thinking, I'm gonna mention it to Eastman Charitable Foundation. I think they may be very interested
Yep,
in this too.
Yeah.
But,
um,
right up there.
I may have mentioned last time, but New Hampshire is really where, I've been to California and, Bali and Chile and all over with this. But New Hampshire is really where I got my start. And I noticed I found an old check that I had never cashed from the, NOFA, New Hampshire's Northeast Organic Farming Association. The very first presentation I did in 2007 or 8 was a NOFA presentation. We used to meet with a place called the Pony Farm down in Peterborough. We had a group of luminaries actually in the business who
Well, I
used
hate
to
to
meet down there.
stop you,
So,
but in the
yeah.
interest of time, we better move on. Okay, are we ready to?
So I don't know if you need to,
Give me a set and I'll take it to Maddie.
yeah, and I inadvertently let it slip to the group email too, instead of just sending it to the chair too, which
That's okay. That's okay to easily, you weren't aware that you should do that.
So I'll proceed on the assumption that sometime in the next few weeks, 2 months, that initial presentation will be given somewhere. Who do I see about, venues?
About what?
About a
Well,
venue.
you said you wanted to talk with Kate about it, the ones you mentioned.
For that one, yes, but for
Yes.
for the initial.
Yeah.
We'll add for Whitney Hall.
Yeah,
The time.
Add for,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Whitney.
What does everybody think of Whitney
and,
Hall? as a-
Don't know.
if Whitney Hall
It's not done yet.
doesn't, work out, I'm sure that
You've seen it though. I've.
I have, I couldn't today, I was at the library.
Oh, yeah,
if,
I wish the
um,
stage.
I should have gone and looked at it. I didn't,
Nah,
I don't wanna see it.
Peter,
Going.
if Whitney Hall doesn't work out, I'm sure that we can work out something with the museum.
Okay, that would be terrific to
Yeah,
have it. at
that's
the-
where,
Yeah,
that would be.
that's a
really
class
good
act,
place.
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, who's gonna be in touch with the museum? And I wonder if that could be thrown into that next conversation with.
She's, everything is supposed to be
Trustee.
thorough.
The trustee.
Oh, okay, all right.
And, so do you wanna go there first, rather
Uh,
than Ed and Whitney Hall?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd like to explore that first. I think that would
Okay.
be great.
Then I'll check, and what's a target date? We wanna have
What
time,
do people think for something like this shortly after Labor Day?
it's kinda soon, I think.
Is that?
You have to
Okay.
avoid the Harvest Festival.
Oh, when's the Harvest Festival?
27.
Yeah,
All right,
I would say mid-October.
mid-October then.
What do you all think?
Sure, that sounds fine.
And I'd like to make contact with the fire department too. Should I?
Oh, yeah.
Knock on the door over there?
Yeah.
and
I would,
Try to see the chief?
that's Chief Neely.
Could you just give him a heads
Bill
up?
Neely.
Because he's gonna know you and he's not gonna know me.
You go into the office of the new department and you talk to Emily Curtis and she will put you in touch with everybody you need to be in touch with.
Emily Curtis.
Yes. First person you'll see.
Okay, if you could give Emily and the chief a heads up for me, so.
Mhm. Let's quickly polish our 3 points
Sounds good.
and get that done with.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, the 3 points, I'm not saying.
All right.
Shall we listen to him one more time?
Yes. One.
Whitney, could you read back? As with so many things,
No
the
worries.
spontaneous thought was much better than I can articulate right now.
No
And
worries.
remember, this doesn't have to be perfect either. We're not presenting it to lawyers or.
I
right, so-
went ahead, oh, yeah, go ahead, Whitney, and I took a stab at trying to condense it, so please read it and then, yeah, sorry.
So the 3 points, and I only edited the third one, so the first two are gonna be the same, but I'll reread them. There's a lot of chatter. So the first point is that the Conservation Commission understands that they made a decision to not convert any class 6 roads into trails. The second point is that the Conservation Commission has determined that there is a limited interest in signage for class 6 roads to identify recreational opportunities within the town, if the select board would like to move forward with this. And the third point was that the Conservation Commission has identified other features of natural interest that they may have an opportunity to address in the future, and has identified an opportunity to coordinate with other groups interested in improving the roads for recreational opportunities.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think it's very good. Do you want to share what you had said, Jean?
Well, I think if we're happy, I'll read it real quickly, but I think if we're happy with something, that's fine. I just said regarding class 6 roads, in accordance with the decision recorded in the Conservation Commission minutes of, and then the date, surely, that was recorded. The
Right.
Conservation Commission, one, recognizes they adopted a policy not to, or the select board adopted a policy not to convert any class 6 roads to trails at this time. 2, determined it would be beneficial on a limited basis to use signage as notice of additional recreational opportunities on certain class 6 roads. And 3, supports facilitating volunteer efforts to maintain these class 6 roads in ways that protect wetlands and other natural features noted during our inventory as our continuing role in facilitating these volunteer efforts. So,
That sounds good.
That's
Very
excellent. The
good.
only thing I would change is the word supports in part 3, because
Uh-huh.
that sort of commits to a determination and a position. I
what would
I
you
would
use?
just
Yeah.
be more comfortable saying looks forward to the opportunity to consider it rather than supports it at this time.
Okay.
I'll leave that to,
Yeah, I agree.
Consider?
I was fine with Whitney's myself.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, they're both good,
Yep.
but I thought, the Whitney's was honed down pretty good. Let's see.
What did you think of Whitney's? Was there anything you wanted as far as those were concerned, Gene?
I only wanted to make sure that we get it in there clearly that we want to, you know, take that opportunity to work with volunteer efforts to protect wetlands and other natural features that were noted during our inventory. That,
Okay, so maybe that
Yeah.
clarification in 3
That is a good for.
that's a good point. I'd be in favor of that myself.
and
Me
Whitney,
too.
can I send you this? If I can just copy and paste it, and can you give me your email? And I'll
Yep.
send it to you, and
Email that Rob usually sends, but you could also forward it to Rob and he can send it to me.
okay, I'll forward it to Rob. I might have your email.
It should be in the list, so like when Rob sends it out, I should be in there. It's my full name, Whitney Jade Banker. It's nothing.
Okay, I got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
Isn't it in
yeah,
the
I'm
recording?
happy with either formulation
Isn't it in the
or.
recording?
It is too, yeah.
You recorded it, it's there.
Okay, I'm sending it to you right now, Whitney.
Okay.
Whitney Banker, gotcha. There you go.
And could you say that one more time, Jean, for us? Because you kind of would quick, fast, so that I
Oh.
thought it was really.
The last one, the third item?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, looks forward to the opportunity to facilitate volunteer efforts to maintain these Class 6 roads in ways that protect wetlands and other natural features noted during our inventory as our continuing role in facilitating these volunteer efforts. So wait, I use facilitating those volunteer efforts as our continuing role, period.
And what you have for the third one, Whitney?
The Conservation Commission has identified other features of natural interest that they may have an opportunity to address and has identified the opportunity to coordinate with other groups interested in improving the roads for recreational.
I like Jean's better.
I do too.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you, Jean.
Good
Of
job.
course. Thank
I
you,
feel
and
good,
thank you, Whitney, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send this to you because I did take out that one bit of language. I'll just send it to you. Did you get the first email by chance?
Do you need a motion?
Huh?
To,
Shouldn't she make the motion? She wrote it.
yeah.
Jean, you wanna make a motion to use yours?
Sure. Okay, I move, should I read it as is then?
It's been recorded. It's on the
Just refer to
recording.
it.
Okay, I move to
Yes.
use the resolution as read to the group regarding Class 6 roads.
I second.
Okay, second,
All in favor?
roll call.
Roll call, yeah.
Jean
Should we start
Belkowski,
with-
Hayden Shaw. Aye.
That was Jean, so we don't.
Jay Wellens, aye.
Peter Hurst, aye.
Shirley Green, aye.
Tom Claus, aye.
Okay.
We sort of skipped over new business really. Why, okay. Because we do have some new business to do, but townwide garden collaboration, let's do that. Stick to our 5 minutes. It's so good, I have to say, it's so good to know we're at the end of Class 6 roads. And the next thing we need to do is, and I think that is my responsibility as chair, is present it to the select board.
Yep.
And with you all support, anyone who could be there for support. And I'll speak to Ed to that when that can get on the agenda.
So you're gonna propose what? I'm sorry, to the top, to the select board.
Pardon me.
You're gonna propose what to the select board?
Just send it, we can, that's what I'll ask him, whether it's necessary to even propose it to them or just send them our findings.
Those 3.
You're on Class 6 roads. I'm sorry. I'm on the next.
Yeah,
subject.
sorry. I
thought you-
know,
I thought you-
went on to that and then I
Yes.
happened to think
You
of
jumped
the
back,
unfinished
okay.
business there.
Sorry, just.
Of what we do with
it's
this.
the way my
Sorry
mind-
about that.
It's the way my mind works. Okay,
Well, I skipped back because I knew we had.
okay, yeah, okay, I'm good with that.
So
yes.
we should either, I'll check with Ed to see whether it's necessary just to pass this on to them in a written, or if necessary for us to be there
Mhm.
and talk to them about it. Because it may not even be. Okay, so on the townwide garden collaboration, I did talk with the Lebanon Conservation Commission and also the president of the Hanover Garden Club. And the Conservation Commission in both of those cities or towns, cities are very involved in with programs that in sustainability and all sorts of ways. And Jean has actually volunteered to lead this up, and I think that I should pass this information and contacts I have on to her, or I don't know, just to see, so you see what they've said, but we need to start in this town on coming up with, people to be, that are involved in gardens to connect with. And what are your feelings on that, Jean? How would you
Well,
like
I
to
think-
proceed?
Well, I think it's great to start by just connecting with the people doing work in the greater, Upper Valley community, and start there, and then come up with um, an approach that might work, again, to be, as to Susan's point, as uncomplicated as possible, so that we can get this done. But they've got things that they've already done in other towns, and people who can maybe share on a volunteer basis. So I think at first, just kind of understanding what's available, and then I can come back and report to this group.
So both of those groups have a lot of things they've done, and will email them and copy you, so to
Yeah.
introduce it.
My one concern I have is that I don't think we should become a garden club. And if you look at the thing you sent out about what our mission is, it says coordinate with unofficial bodies organized for similar purposes such as and list gardening clubs. So I'm worried that we're again overstepping our bounds if we become our gardening club. I think we should be a advisory to gardening clubs of what they should plant. We recommend, support them, we do even financially, so they can plant the right things that are, gonna
Well,
help.
that's an idea, that's kind of things that the conservation commissions are doing
Right,
with them.
right. So cause right now, there's no gardening club in Enfield.
Right.
So
But there is there are big groups that, take care of the gardens we have in Enfield. And also there's, very involved gardens at the museum where they have actually reached out to us before about to see if we're interested in pollinating.
I'm just throwing up a warning flag.
No, I know.
I don't think we
Good.
should go down the path
That
of
we
a
went
gardening
down.
club, because I think we're gonna be doing the same thing we do with Class 6 roads.
Mhm.
Taking on something we should. That's all, that's my point.
Are you concerned about that specific language that says similar groups such as garden clubs? Because that sort of equates us to a garden club.
No, I'm reading what our mission is.
Yeah.
And it specifically said that we should coordinate with unofficial bodies such as garden clubs, it was specifically listed.
Yeah,
And that's what,
I
And that's
thought,
why
I thought somewhere in what you read, it says groups, similar groups.
Coordinate with unofficial bodies organized for similar purposes, such as lake associations, gardening clubs, local environmental groups, or educational institutions.
Yeah.
So.
and I think you're wise to, us not to get too involved, not for
That's-
us to be a garden club.
That's all I'm
Just
saying,
coordinate
is
with
right,
it.
just so we don't kind of go down a path that.
Yes.
That what select board would not want us to be going down.
I think that the local people who put out the tubs and do gardening here and there are very good at getting volunteers via the listserv and the town email and things like that. I don't think we have to do very much.
Well, we'll see. The Lakeside Park certainly could use more volunteers.
Well, they're very good at asking for volunteers there. I get
But
emails
they're
and
also the
they're in the
Lakeside-
listserv and
The Lakeside
we
Park,
don't have to do that.
the Lakeside Park is also very interested in being an example of good lake stewardship in that property.
Yeah, well, I
And that
don't
is-
see, I would agree with Tom. I don't think we need to take any action on this. I really don't. I think that the people that are doing it are really working hard to get the people they need, and that we don't need to involve ourselves.
So what are the thoughts of the other people, Jay and Jean and Peter on this?
No. Kind of agree with Tom. His point, yeah. We can advise, we can support, take on actual duties of. I don't think we're ready for that. take on the actual duties. I don't think so.
How about formulating a statement to the effect that we stand ready to advise such groups on environmental, ecological implications of what they're doing, such as, you know, no runoff of fertilizers from lakeside into the water, or whatever they can come up with. Just make a statement that's saying, you know, we have some expertise and interest in this regard. Not necessarily that we're gonna go down there and say
Oh, no.
that the petunias and all of that.
No, that
But-
is what these
but the-
conservation commissions are doing. They're doing what you described.
And how are they doing?
Pardon me, in educational ways.
Yeah.
And then,
But are they proactive or are they just offering their support as called on?
they're offering their support. And, they're all, you know, they've created different things. They're not into the actual gardening themselves.
No, I understand that, but what are they doing to express their support? Are they just saying, yeah, if you need any advice, come to us?
Oh,
Or are they doing something more active?
the conservation, the Conservation Commission has a biodiversity committee. And we've worked with them on educational presentations for the most part. Their president has organized an excellent presentation with, Doug Talent with videos. One of our board members is on the committee, so she keeps us updated. It's, educational support mainly, and let's see, where's the other one? This is. Right. Oh, yeah, here's the one from Lebanon. The Lebanon Conservation Commission does not directly cooperate with the Lebanon Garden Club, but we do collaborate with the Sustainable Lebanon, which is doing some work in the gardening realm, and did collaborate with the Hanover Garden Club for a film screening in April. I personally know people who are active in both Leb and the Hanover Garden Clubs. So while I'm well aware of some of their doings, the Conservation Commission has not directly worked with them. I think it is a great idea, though. Over the years, the Leb Conservation Commission has published a few articles that are garden related, having to do with reducing chemical use, jumping worms, insect diversity, lawn reduction. See, they're not partnering directly as becoming a garden.
So
Yeah.
that's fine.
It's
Yeah,
quite,
That's
yeah,
fine, yeah.
that's the way it is. It's not that,
So we haven't been called on to partner directly, have we?
No, we.
no, this was something that, Kate suggested at our last meeting that we look into.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
I think going back to the little bit of background on this was something Kate was really encouraging at the last meeting. And would
Mhm.
someone want to, kind of shepherd that? And I think it's a great idea on an educational basis,
Yeah.
It's a way for us to learn what's going on and to, come back and kind of formulate an approach educationally. I mean, I think it's a mistake for us to be so passive that we don't want to do educational things or coordinate with people. So, so that we can talk about the dangers of using Roundup or, I mean, that kind of a
Yeah.
thing. So I think if I do a little inventory and just talk to Shirley's contacts and come back, we can discuss it.
Sure, I think that's a perfect approach.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Just,
that's the approach we
yeah,
planned.
If you wanna start with a concrete example, you could certainly couch my biochar presentation as educational resource available to whatever
Yeah.
garden.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
so I mean, it isn't, doesn't mean we're gonna be actively, supporting.
No, but you could wrap that in a policy statement saying, we're we're aware of the interest in supporting and
Providing educational materials, yeah.
and providing educational materials. As an example, we're in the process of developing a program in biochar and soil nutrition.
Yeah.
Right.
So send you those so you can learn, send you those contacts, Jean, so
Great.
you can more and you can report back to us what you find.
Will do.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
You wanna do an old home days wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, I thought our table went very well. There was a lot of people getting ice cream and there's a lot of people stopped by. It was very. The 2 hours went in a flash, never sat down once, you know, and it was just like between Ed and I, we were constantly chatting with people. I saw a lot of people I knew. And like I said, we didn't have a sign up list for the trails, but I think we talked about it. And I got a couple people the young people that were interested, a couple people actually were interested in the Conservation Commission too. And I said, well, we have a full roster now, but it's good to know who you are for future reference. That went really well. The hike, at the tent, it looked like I was gonna have over 20 people take the hike, but as you know, the weather wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
So, we had seven people, and I sent you the picture. Did you get it?
Yes, it went into the newsreel.
Yeah, so it was a great hike. I mean, it's beautiful up there. And everybody that went had a good time, so it was good. It was good and, you know, like to do it again.
Thank you
Yeah.
for all your effort.
Yeah.
Okay, so, under new business, we have the first thing we have is the, thing that I sent you on the town is going to write up planning, the town is planning, to put together guidelines for each committee. And Ed Morris has asked me for information on the CC, and I gave him information from the book that I passed out to you all too. And so he took his guidelines from that for town guidelines. But we will still be updated to the New Hampshire guidelines too. And I sent you each a draft so you could look it over before we make a decision. And, does anybody have any comments?
Oh, I haven't had time to digest it, so I just got it, so.
I think that ought to be postponed to the next meeting because it came too late to read it.
Okay, that's fine with
Think
me.
about it.
Yeah,
There's no rush on getting this done. So, we'll, look it over. You all have it now?
yep,
And, we'll, make a decision next week, discuss it and make a decision next meeting.
sure.
Is this correspondence that you're talking about, the letters from the Department of Environmental Services?
Some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anyone that has any other new business?
Nope.
So we have a few letters from the Department of Environmental Services. Several of them are just, applications from the town. And we also have a notification from the, forest lands and the Fish and Game that they're gonna be cutting another 114 acres of the Lower Shaker Wildlife Management Area.
I haven't seen that. I don't have that, I don't have a copy of that.
Yeah, we didn't get a copy of that one.
Yeah,
It's with
We
three
should have.
of them.
we should have because, they go to Rob too. This is.
Yeah,
one that
didn't
was
send
in-
us that one.
Pardon me?
I don't think he sent us that one.
No, I don't think he did either. So I'm reading it because
That's
this is
fine.
in my some of them are in my conservation. Rob and I get both get them.
Yep, that's fine.
And, I will make a point to make a list when I send him the agenda to make sure that he still has all of the ones.
Yep.
that we received to put
We
in
got a
your notices.
dredge and fill wetlands permit application July 2nd, an alleged violation July 8th,
Mm-hmm.
and on July 21st, a shoreland permit application. That's all we got.
That's all I got.
Mhm.
That's all we got.
Yeah, on the dredge and fill, you saw that that was approved. There's one dredge and fill that isn't. There's one here. Did you get the one on the Satchel Band property on, Rollins Point?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me quite a while to find out. I only got the cover page on that. And I still haven't got the plans. They want to tear down an existing dwelling and replace it with a new dwelling and expand their driveway and parking, add a patio and a new septic tank. I hope that's system, not just tank. But anyways, I'm still in the process of, there must be plans for this somewhere. We usually get a big packet from like this from the,
Given the
people
time
are
it is,
working with
can you send us those for the next meeting?
the
The
plans.
ones that we don't have.
Mhm. Yes, I will. As I said, I haven't been able to obtain the plans for these yet. I'm not sure why. Today, I had to call DES to get the information that I got on what they're planning to do. Because the only thing that came through from DES was just that they'd applied for something, not what they had applied for.
Yeah, there's not much we can do with what we
No.
got, so
No.
what can we
And I
do?
I
There's no
can
sense in
say,
beating it up too much.
I wanna check on it and find out what it is to
Yeah.
make sure that it isn't something that we should have a recommendation on.
Well, one
And
of
if I
the
think
things
we
that really
should, I
concerned me
think we
was
should.
the
excuse me,
violation
excuse
letter.
me. I think we should, if, Paul, if there's something that we feel that we should make a recommendation on, we might have to call a special meeting to discuss that.
Yeah,
And, I can say this location is directly across from where I live. And they are one of the most environmentally conscious people on the lake. You can't even see their house. And so I am hoping this plan follows with that. And but I want to find out what the plan is. I tried to find out several ways and I still haven't been able to. And I don't know whether, I can't picture they may apply before having a plan. I don't know how DES can make a decision.
Did you go to this website there?
I did. I called this morning and, cause we couldn't find it on the website.
Okay,
And they sent me, and I did get this second page on the website, but there's still no plan of how big it's gonna be, if it's gonna be any bigger or any details.
Hmm.
Yet, but I will, keep working on it. And,
we only have like so many days to respond to these, don't we?
yes, but we don't have the information to respond. So there's there's a problem there with communication.
It's not
Yeah.
like it, right?
Cause, and that's, I think that's a very, good point to make to them. We can't make a recommendation if we don't have the information.
What is it?
what
The
did you
timing?
do July 15th was due within 14 days, July 15th.
This one here, they applied for July 21st.
This
Yeah,
one
if
is
we
delayed the-
That has been an ongoing problem, Susan, is that we don't get the applications in time to respond lots of times.
I was just gonna, I mean, I don't know if it's possible, but as soon as, who were they sent to first?
They're sent to
Who's the first person?
Rob
received it?
and I.
You-
Well, they're sent to the people on the list.
Right,
There's different things, depends on what it is, municipal clerk, local, this one's to the local,
but if it requires conservation commission and
we will get it.
you get it.
Yep.
So can you, as soon as you get it, send it to us to
Mhm.
review and see if any of us have any concerns. Because we have such a limited time to respond. If we wait until the next meeting, that time might have already passed. So it's not even a moot point. We can't do anything about it.
Yeah, cause we don't get those until the day before the
Right,
meeting.
because we're just
Yeah.
waiting with the meeting
There's
minutes.
some
and
of
everything.
these that we know right away that is something we don't need to respond to. You can generally tell
Mhm.
which ones
Right.
need a response.
Right, there's two out of the three we got, that there's nothing we can do about. The only one that has any concern was the one where they denied no, there was a, a, a
The violation.
violation. Was that Chase's? I looked on the map, it looked like Chase's. It
It's
I didn't get a
David and
chance to look at it.
Victoria Rogers, 1741 New Hampshire Route 4A. It's,
looks like Chase's on the map.
no, it's up beyond.
Oh, it is? It is.
Mhm.
I went on Google Maps and found it. It's
Okay.
not Chase.
Okay. I just, yeah, it kind of looked like it. I just was,
Yeah, that's the vicinity,
it's
but that's
before
not.
Grafton
Yeah.
Pond Road.
And see,
Yeah,
these don't even get in my
Yeah.
mailbox on the date that's on.
Yeah, so there's not much we can do with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's
But if we see something that needs to have a recommendation, we can stop that.
Yeah, I know that.
Right. We can stop the process. That's one control that the Conservation Commission has. And, if we see something we need to address, we can call a special meeting to do that.
Okay.
But so that, can we then get them as soon as you get them, send them to us so that we can, if anybody spots anything that's like, all right, this is a concern,
Yeah,
let you know when, if we need to have it.
well, these people, look what they're doing, this alleged violation, I think we ought to tell them that they can't do it.
I have the GIS map pulled up for that property, if you guys wanna see it.
oh, good, thank you.
Oh, that's it right there?
36,
Yeah,
Yep.
36. So that's not Chase's.
No, that's,
No, I was just guessing when I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
As I
Patience
will.
is pretty deserted. I keep wondering if there'll be a development that goes in there.
I'm sure there's some cleanup that needs to be done there.
Oh, yes,
a good sized piece of property.
it is.
Yeah, big piece of land. I can't even recall that house.
Since it's a very little.
yesterday it's there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
I just, it
but
doesn't ring any.
if the, you know that in a case like that, if DES has received a notice that they're the DES, that's something the DES will look into their.
Right. It's something to do with filling in a vernal, something like that, but
They're filling in a vernal pool, so forth and so on.
yeah.
I think in most cases, the DES they're pretty strict.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're,
All right, so it'll be interesting to find out what the outcome is. So, yeah, so let's move on. It's getting late.
yeah, but I just hope that in the future, maybe we can just get them as soon as you get them, Shirley, and.
If there's, it depends, some months I might not get one or two of these.
Maybe you
And I
could
can-
ask Rob to send them,
I can
when Rob
certainly
gets
tell.
them, to send them to all of us.
Pardon me?
When Rob gets them, to send them to all of us, instead of to you to distribute it.
I don't distribute them. I collect, these are the ones I get in my Conservation Commission box. Rob gets the materials that he sends out to. And
Okay.
like, if there's something like these, materials today that I sent out to you so that you could see them before the meeting, I didn't get the, some of these materials till today.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do us any-
Yeah, we gotta do something about that. I can't figure out.
It's been a long, and there's one thing, I'm sorry, Jean, I forgot, wasn't on the agenda and needs to be, do you want to speak to the guiding principles? You all got a copy of that?
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I honestly think about these? I think maybe they're morphing into just our guiding principles, not regarding class 6 roads, but just our guiding principles. And perhaps as we're honing in our focus on what we do and what we don't do, you know, what's in our purview and what's outside of that, but these things can be used. And I can adapt them a little bit to be not specific to class 6 roads. I think we're over that topic, but
think
we
that's
can
a
make
good
it just
idea.
general.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea, Jean.
I'll do that.
I know you spent a lot of time, but I think it should be more general.
Or it could apply to the guidelines that we need to review.
Right.
Correct?
I
Well,
think
that's
the
what-
draft of the guidelines should be on the agenda of the next meeting.
Right.
Pardon me?
The guidelines, the draft of the guidelines
Yeah.
should be on the agenda for the
Yeah,
next meeting.
along with the,
9:30,
Guiding principle.
Along with the town guidelines.
That's what I was talking about, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the ones Jean has been working on are guiding principles.
Yep.
Because they relate to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll adapt them to those. So, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I have to
I'm
say,
good with
Gene, I have to say, Gene, with the tweaks you made from the first draft, really well written.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked them. Well, there was a lot of feedback. I had a lot to work with.
Does anyone else have any other business?
We have one thing to say that ought to go on the record, is to thank Whitney for all
Yeah.
the things she's done.
Yeah.
Because this is the last meeting
A very
that she'll
thankless
be
job
our
too.
secretary, and she's done such a good job.
Absolutely.
And we are going to miss her terribly.
Oh,
I know, I'm gonna be so out of the loop now, because I've been doing zoning, planning, concert, you know, select board, all these committees. I'll be so out of the loop now. I won't know what's going on in town.
and all of them have been so good. I've sat in many meetings and for many years, and there are some meetings where we have gone over the minutes in depth,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm praying that that is gonna happen to us.
I don't know they'll ever find anybody as good as.
I don't think they'll ever get one as good.
No, I agree. Yeah, I can think back to some real long discussions over the minutes before you took over here, Whitney. I remember those days.
Yeah, long
Yeah,
discussions,
those,
weren't they?
those
Oh,
were fruitless
the
and
zoning
painful.
board. Oh,
Oh, that was only, even our conservation commission, just going over minutes for way too long,
Way too long.
way too long.
Yeah,
so,
if you ever, we'll welcome you back anytime.
I know.
Extra time.
My kids will grow up
do we need a
eventually.
Motion to adjourn,
Second,
move to
All in
adjourn.
favor, roll call.
Jean Balgrasky Hincha, aye.
Jay Walenside.
Definitely aye.
Peter Erskine.
Billy Green, aye.
Town Claus, aye. Aye.
Thank you all.
Aye,
I
aye, aye.
wouldn't leave my time thing on here, I hope, but we have a lot to discuss.
Oh,
And it's hard to make decisions without discussion.
I guess. Hey, guys.
Thank
Shirley, I
you.
got those two boxes in my car for you, okay?
Copies.